Down. 3, 2, Kelly, all you.
Alright, as some of you may have seen on the news in various locations, our military budget is a very big issue in the current day. Next slide. Our U.S. military budget is extremely large. It is $711 billion total last year, and it is bigger than the next 13 countries behind it, all part of NATO. All combined, their budgets are $695 million. That's 16 million short, or 16 billion short of our military budget. The military budget consists of 44% of our total military spending, which is way too much of a percentage for how much we actually use. Here is the recommended cuts by various people, everyday citizens. In the total survey, they said to cut it by these very responsive numbers in billions of dollars. And the final budget that ended up happening is Obama's budget that cut it about 500 million. So these are the predicted cuts, and as you can see, the people all agree, and even the House, and they all agree. Well, actually, the budget sequestered, but the House actually disagreed because there's nothing there, and then Obama barely wanted to cut it. So everyone agrees except the people actually in the government. Okay, I want to take you to another site called U.S. Debt Clock, but I want you to pay attention to a few statistics while you go to there. It's a real-time debt clock that keeps track of the America's deficit, debt, total debt, and like you to escape. Go to open the tab. Go to usdebtclock.org.
This is scary.
Okay. Your statistics will start showing up. It takes a little bit because it's got a lot of numbers right here. Okay, there's a few numbers I want you to pay attention to. First one is the debt per taxpayer. That's right here. That means that for everyone, in order to get completely out of debt, every person will have to pay $149,000. Every taxpayer, every person over 18 has to pay $149,000 and we'd be out of debt. That wouldn't be including any taxes from that year either. Okay, the debt per citizen, this is including anyone, everybody, including people under 18. That's the number that's put on their head at birth that they have to pay just to get out of this debt right now. That's $54,000.
Wow.
That's more than the average citizen makes in a year. So, as you can see, that's a very big problem. The defense budget right here is $605 roughly billion, and that's without any sort of secret military costs, any hidden projects, various under the rug things that are secretive that they don't tell them. Okay, the United States deficit. Where that's the debt. The deficit is,
Right. That's 661
yeah.
on the right.
660. Yes, budget deficit. $661 billion every year, adding to our 17 trillion in debt. So, as you can see, it's not helping the situation as every 2 years we get 1.2 trillion added onto this debt if we keep going with these moderate budgets. Now, the U.S. total debt, this is what we'd have to pay, $60 trillion if we do not cut anything, if we have all the various funds and as well as interest rates for the money that we borrowed. So I also want you to go to the top, see the green arrow, click on that. Yep, 2017 budget showdown. Okay. Now, once this loads up, you'll see the various places will be in 2017 if our budgets don't change the way that they're supposed to. And everyone except for one predicts that our debt will keep going further and we will reach $20 trillion in debt by the time we reach 2017. And this is a very big trademark. That means the deficit will have to increase, the debt ceiling had to increase unless we change things. So I'd like to go back to my screen.
I wish my savings were like that.
Full screen it. Next slide. Now, as you see those numbers, those are really large numbers and they have to change. In order to do this, I would recommend we make some Department of Defense changes. That I have some numbers here for some ridiculous spendings. For the drinking, it's predicted that 60 million is spent every year on Medicare and work time just for the people involved in the military drinking. This is just for medical care and the cost of work time from these, because 20%, like, or I believe it was 21% of armed service members drink heavily at an unhealthy level, and this is much higher than the average rate. And this is like alcoholism level of drinking. This is 20% of the armed service people are drinking at this level, and it is costing $600 million plus another $132 million just from the government having to cover fetal alcohol syndrome in the woman working. When they get pregnant, they drink a ton, and then the babies, they have to take care of them, and it costs them more medical expenses on top of the already $600 million every year. And that's just for drinking of the soldiers. Another DoD project that doesn't make any sense is they made their own beef jerky brand. It's not for sale for the public, and it cost $1.5 million out of the budget just to make a beef jerky program that had no use whatsoever. Just to get the soldiers beef jerky just from taxpayers' money. Failed military experiments that we keep investing in. It's predicted that since 1995, over $32 billion has been spent on military projects that have just been abandoned. Many of this is because much of this is caused by politicians wanting to endorse these deals, and then when the next election time, they just cut it, so it seems like they saved billions and billions of dollars on the military budget, when really they're just cutting programs that they endorsed earlier in the semester, and they're not actually getting any progress from it. This is called political porking. This is what they do. They endorse these projects, and when the next when the next election comes around, they'll cut these projects that they are endorsing at first, just to add money to their own pockets and like get more votes, just for projects that they just abandoned and spent billions of dollars just to not even get any progress whatsoever. Another thing that needs to change, we need to stop investing in outdated military technology. Tanks and these ground scouts have no place in modern war. As you can see, the military is moving more towards drone warfare and various different types of war. Tanks will not be used in any sort of future war, as it's no longer large conflict and like large country versus large country. These are now very ineffective and they don't serve a purpose in the modern military. As ground scouts, drones are highly more advanced, more useful, and these ground scouts just don't have a purpose anymore. And we keep investing in these, costing billions of dollars to the government just to spend money on this equipment, updating it, and even the updated version is still useless. Next slide. So the conclusion is we need to cut our military budget. We need to cut the unnecessary purchases, stop investigating in technology, and what this will do, it'll drop the deficit and maximize efficiency in our military department.
Well done, well done, well done.